So one thing I really want to kind of do in this series is I want to provide little tips and tricks that we've kind of found in our own professional um, working industry. So the first one I kind of want to show here is a little bonus on how to organize Visual Studio Code. So I have Visual Studio Code installed, obviously. I've kind of gone through the installation for Visual Studio Code a long time ago. But basically, you can sort of see here that the first kind of trick I want to kind of show you is, I've renamed my files, my kind of notes here that I'm starting to build up to .md. And the reason I'm basically doing that is because GitHub itself, when I push these notes into GitHub, it really likes the kind of file format of MD, and it actually can highlight um, topics for you. So what does that basically mean? Basically means in my Visual Studio Code here, I basically have a .md file. I had them as .text file in the first videos, but now I've actually changed them to .md. I'm basically putting a hash here. So you can sort of see I'm kind of highlighting here and starting to kind of highlight, you know, um, important elements of what I'm basically trying to kind of remember into my own study plan. So if I kind of look now, you can sort of see that if I bring up my GitHub desktop, and you can sort of see here's my GitHub desktop, and basically I'm just going to put any description here in, but I'm basically going to push these up to my GitHub. And this is another reason that I really kind of like GitHub desktop. It's so easy to install, so easy to use. I can basically sort of say um, here's the list of changes that changed, and then check them in and push them up to my main branch. But basically, if I kind of go back now to my notes here, I can sort of say I can pull over my GitHub, and you can sort of see, okay, so I know I didn't put a great comment in here, but again, as we're kind of going to be checking in all of these types of notes, right now it's just to kind of highlight how to actually do this. But if I kind of look at, what do I need to follow along? So you remember that I kind of had, the hashes in front of it of those. So if I kind of open that node, I kind of sort of see what do I need for this course. So I can kind of go to that file, and you can sort of see really, really clearly, you know, it's becoming a header. You know, other tools I use, you know, other tools I use, just because basically if that hash in front of the actual power phrase that I really want to kind of highlight. And you can sort of see that the files are actually checked in, the MD files, but in Visual Code I can basically put the hash in front of it, and then when I check them into GitHub, they just become more highlighted, and that will kind of highlight to me um, what's really kind of important for me to kind of concentrate as I kind of build up the notes. I know the notes are they're not extensive at the moment, but as I kind of build these up, I want to make sure that I'm kind of highlighting important elements and everything. You can also do, just as an extra little idea, you can also do like two hashes in front of something to actually make it a subheader, right? So if I was going to kind of change this to be like a subheader, I can actually put two hash in front, and basically when I kind of check that in, it will basically come a subheader inside of GitHub. So it's only a small little item that you can actually use and highlight your notes, but just sometimes it's kind of handy.